Hi guys, welcome back to Subto Shauna. This is the way, episode 32, right? Episode 32. So today I have Zack Busch with us. Hi, Zack.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. I love the intro. You told me there was a countdown before we got on, but I didn't realize there was a whole extra scenes afterwards. So that was a fun little surprise.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm a little fancy, just a little bit.
Hey, no, that's perfect.
Yeah. So Zach is a Subto community member. He's a fitness coach where he coaches CrossFit. He's a mechanical engineer. He's a real estate investor and a podcaster.
Yeah.
So I gotta be honest with you. I don't really understand 100% what CrossFit is all about, but it kind of got my interest when I saw this. There was a short or a reel. I don't know if you're a Game of Thrones fan,
Yep.
but it was Jon Snow, and he was. It was like a funny meme. He went to dinner or something, and he was talking about how he does CrossFit so he can stay in shape to fight wildlings.
I'm sure, and I'm sure he's in great shape too. So CrossFit really does work.
Yeah. So what is CrossFit like?
Yeah, so CrossFit started back in like 2007, and that's kind of when I got started in it. But CrossFit is essentially like specializing and not specializing. So it covers a lot of different, it's definitely group-based workouts. So there's usually class times, like our gym has like a 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 9, noon, 3, 4, 5, 6 p.m. So it's classes. But the thing about CrossFit is it mixes a lot of different things. So there's strength. So there's Olympic lifting, like snatches and clean and jerks. There's deadlifts, there's squats, but then it also includes gymnastics work. So you got pull-ups, you got push-ups, and then it goes into like non-structural. So you got running, rowing. It combines all of those things into one workout. Sometimes it's more strength-based where it's like mostly barbell work. Sometimes it's like barbell and running. So it combines a lot of different components of fitness. Their whole thing is to just create a broad spectrum of fitness within the individual, and it does it through coach-led group classes, really.
Oh, okay. So is it like an individual program, like catered to or tailored to the individual, or is it kind of like the same for
So
everyone?
yeah, so it'll be the same for everyone. So there's, usually the owner programs, like our owner programs for the entire week. So on Sunday morning, you get an email like, hey, here are the workouts for the week. Everybody does the same workout on Monday, whether you start with a lift where you spend 15 minutes working on a lift, and then they explain what the second part of the workout is, usually a more conditioning type workout. So everybody does that as part of the class. And, they're the coach, or as the owner who's programming it, they have a broad scheme of like, hey, this 12-week cycle, we're working, these little lifts we're working on. So they progress it through that way, which is another nice part of CrossFit is like, it's more expensive than like for sure Planet Fitness, but you don't have to think about what you're doing. You just you don't even need to look at what the workout is. You just show up for the class and just do what they say, and you spend 45 minutes to an hour doing it, and then you go home. You don't have to worry about what am I going to do tomorrow at the gym, which is definitely another plus for it.
Right. Awesome. I've been on workout programs a few times in my life, and my favorite one was when I did P90X. Is
Mm-hmm.
it something like that?
Kind of similar. Yeah, definitely. Like P90X, I know was mostly at home stuff. I think you had maybe some dumbbells and stuff in there. So there's not as
It's
much.
like I loved that. It's like a lot of like the kickboxing stuff. You're like,
Mhm.
like punches and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's got similar components for sure, but with the limited equipment, P90X, couldn't do as much. But yeah, I would say it's similar.
Awesome. Okay. So I did notice that a lot of the people who are just killing it in real estate investing are also, have like workout programs. They like get up super early in the morning. I mean, there has to be something to it if all the successful people are having like a complete lifestyle of it, right?
Yeah, I think, and that's my podcast, Wealthy Wellbeing, is kind of structured along that, where I get people who have had success in both health and fitness, whether they own their own gym or they've just, it's something they've done for a while and have done some kind of business or real estate, because there are a lot of similarities between the two. You have to have a clear vision of like what you want, why you're doing it, or else, the days that you get up, you're like, oh, I don't feel like going to the gym and doing anything. Like that vision is what will pull you to the gym. The consistency aspect of it, right? To get results, whether it's diet or working out, you have to go every day or at least go consistently. And you have to do that over a long period of time, regardless of how much you want to or don't want to, how motivated you are, how you're feeling. So it's very similar to real estate or business. And that's, kind of the comparison I like to make, is that's probably why people are successful, whether they started in business, got that up and running, and then switched over to like, all right, now I need to get my health in order. They can take that consistency and the sometimes boringness of it, the monotony of working out, and go, all right, I know this is going to get me the end result that I want. I just have to trust the process. And then vice versa. Somebody who started in fitness and has that good baseline can apply those same principles when they're getting into business, going, all right, I know what the end result is. I know if I stay consistent with it, I'll eventually get there.
Right. It's all about discipline. If you can self-discipline yourself for workouts and eating right and this and that, then you'll be able to use your self-discipline for like your business too.
Yeah, you're comfortable being uncomfortable, going through that, again, monotony, and just being consistent with it. And a lot of in real estate, especially with Subto, right, the community is the big thing. So that's why I love CrossFit. Is it's such a community based thing. I met my wife through it. A lot of my closest friends are through it. It helps you stay consistent when you don't want to go. It's like, oh, I told my buddy I'd go at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Like I have to go now.
Right. That's what accountability. It's like an accountability partner for workouts, right?
Exactly.
I've been on meal plans and workout programs several times in my life. One time I actually had a trainer, and he was like, I was like, oh God, he was talking about, my diet and everything, right? And I forgot how we got to this part, but he was like, you can have one glass of red wine twice a week. And I was like, oh, really? I can have 2 bottles of red wine? He said, no, glass. But he said it filters the blood, the red wine. So, anyway, I just thought that was funny. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like if you're disciplined with the workouts and stuff like that, then you'll be disciplined in your business. So, that being said, do you do this CrossFit coaching like in person only, or do you do it virtually?
Yeah, so it is in person. The only time that we've done it virtually was COVID, when the gym had to be closed for a period of time. But yeah, it's all in person. So, I coach one night a week, really is all it is. Besides when I'm filling in with people, other coaches. But yeah, one night a week, I'll go in. There's usually like 15 people in the class. And so we'll just lead the class, go through like, hey, here's the purpose of the workout. Here's some pointers, some tips. Here's what we're looking for, and just teaching it that way. So it's a fun way to engage with people and get to know the community a little bit more. Most people go to the gym at the same time, the same classes. So I have a lot of the same people that I talk to, but it's good to build like that close relationship with them on a coach level and not just as a fellow member or athlete level.
So are you hired by the gym or hired by the people that do the class, or have your own business?
Yeah, no. So I work for the owners of the gym. I've known them since before they opened the gym. But yeah, so I just get paid. I'm a 1099 contractor, and I get paid per class.
Nice. Yeah, because you got that, and then you got the mechanical engineering, and then you got the real estate investing. So let's talk about that a little bit. When did you join Subto, and how did you discover Pace in the Subto community, and what made you decide it was right for you?
Yeah, so I mean, how I joined was probably 2019. I came across the financial independence, retire early, the FIRE movement or the FIRE concept, especially the subreddit. I really learned a lot of stuff about it through the subreddit.
The FIRE concept?
Yeah, financial independence, retire early. Their thing is like, hey, save everything you can, put it like in index funds, mutual funds, and like watch that compounding interest grow. And you'll be able to retire earlier because you can live off the dividends and all that stuff. But the downside of that is now I have to save everything, basically not do anything fun at all ever, because I'm trying to invest all of this money in. And so it was like a little too restricting for what I was looking for. But that taught me a lot of financial literacy stuff and got me into bigger pockets and real estate stuff. So I started diving into that. Was like, okay, this is a little more active, but it provides the means and the methods to potentially retire earlier, at least be able to leave my job or have the option to leave my job. And from there, read a lot of books from Bigger Pockets, listened to a lot of podcasts, came across Pace on one of their podcasts two and a half years
So
ago.
was it Bigger Pockets or?
Yeah, Bigger Pockets. Yep, it was one of the.
Because that's the two ways I'm finding. The two things I'm getting, either they found them on YouTube or Bigger Pockets.
Yep, this one was Bigger Pockets, and then that led me to YouTube and Instagram, and kind of going into that rabbit hole. His 16-hour lives that he did, or 24-hour lives that he did, and like just all the information he was giving out was like, okay, I like all of this stuff. Like, he's obviously super personable, so it's like, how can you not like him? And
Yeah.
he talked about the Subto community, and I was like, okay, perfect. I haven't done anything yet. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know the community aspect of CrossFit works, and that helps me stay accountable and do things. So let's go into this community where when I do start doing stuff and start messing stuff up, I have other people there that can support, help, and, mentor, guide me as I kind of fumble through the process.
Yeah, it is great for support, and we can provide each other value and do deals together. And I kind of feel like a lot of people, it's like people don't join Subto just to do real estate. They join Subto because of the positivity, because of the mentorship, because of the resources, because of the human connection, and because of the learning. And there's like, it's not just real estate. It's like,
Yeah, I have some close friends that I met through the community, whether it's working with them or just, having a ton of conversations with them for sure. And, when I got into it, I didn't realize it was going to be talking about other topics other than just like creative finance. They do talk about cash deals and how to talk to sellers and market yourself. And, now he's into business buying and multifamily. So it's like every aspect of not only real estate, but other things. So it's certainly great to have all that, but like building the friendships and building up your network within the community is huge.
yeah, I didn't realize that it was going to have all that stuff as well. I mean, I was a realtor when I found Pace, and I was searching something on YouTubeversity, right?
Mm-hmm.
About real estate, and then I found Pace, and he didn't have a marketing manager back then. This was like probably this time in 2022 is when I found him, but I didn't end up joining until like April 23. But yeah, I mean, he didn't have a marketing team back then, and he had just started his YouTube channel not too long before that, and he was just doing the Zooms on YouTube with the students. And as I was listening to him talk, I was picking up on some things. I'm like, oh, he's an Eagle Scout. Oh, he was raised Mormon before he even said it out loud. And I was picking up all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, I get this guy. And I'm like, this is the way. This is the way. And that's how I got the name for the channel. Because I felt like the Mandalorian. That's why we got Grogu, right? This is the way.
Yeah, he certainly knows how to build a brand, and he's definitely built it up for sure.
Yeah. So when did you join?
It was the beginning of 22, I think, like end of 21, beginning of 22.
Wow, so you are an OG.
I'm,
Have you gotten Daniel Q on your podcast yet? Because he is big time into health.
not
And that
yet.
man,
No.
oh my gosh, you got to go ask him. I bet you he would love it. Like, he's the one that I learned about mushroom coffee from.
Mushroom coffee?
Yes, mushroom coffee. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
not familiar with
Not the mushroom that makes you see things.
that.
These are healthy. It's like healthy instead of, coffee bean coffee. It's like a mushroom coffee, and there's a few really popular ones. One I'm sure you probably heard of called Mud Water.
Yep.
That's actually a mushroom coffee drink. Yeah,
Interesting.
and then there's Rise, RYZE. That's the one that I tried.
Okay.
It's supposed to help with clear cognition and stuff like that. It has a lot of health benefits. And then another OG, not as much as Daniel. I don't know if he joined when you did. Have you had Maj on your
Not
podcast?
Not yet, but I'm going to be on his in a week or so. Next week, I think.
Yeah, Pace is always I love him. He's so hilarious. I love him so much. He's so awesome.
Yeah.
But
He just
Pace
had a
is
baby,
always
right?
bragging on him for being a vegetarian.
He just had a baby on like Tuesday, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
he already got married too.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Because I was supposed to
Yeah.
be on it this past Tuesday, but he was like, hey, so he told me it might happen. He's like, hey, so my wife gave birth last night. I was like, can we push it a week? I was like, yeah, I think we
Oh,
can.
you mean the baby just was born?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought you meant he's getting ready to have a baby.
No. Yeah. No. It was just born.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, I got to go check that out. Maj is so cool. I love the people in Sub too. They're just like, they're awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, since you've been doing the real estate, like what is your focus in the real estate investing? Like, are you mainly doing fix and flips? Or are you doing buy and holds? And
Buy and holds, yeah, yeah. I mean, I started off wholesaling. I did the zero to hero, like build a wholesaling business, and then did that for a couple of years, and recently just bought a property, and so switching to focusing on that. So shut down the wholesaling and let's start buying.
yeah, okay. So what? Actually, let's put your buy box up here while we're talking about that. If anybody has any deals that they would like to run past you. So you look in Southeast Pennsylvania because you live in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I'm outside of Philadelphia, so anything outside of Philly, and then the one that I have it's a couple hours north of me, so like it's probably not technically southeastern PA, but it's close enough.
Okay. So you like the pad split model? Or are you doing long-term rentals or like are they multifamily? Like what are you doing?
Yeah, so I have a long-term rental right now. Just the area that it is in is better for long-term. It's not like a huge population, but it's like a high rental population. So and it was a great deal. So we were able to pull out a lot of money, and it just breaks even as a long-term, which is fine because we pulled out.
Oh, so you bird it. You
Yeah.
fixed it up.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that was like as part of the wholesaling effort. That was right before I kind of shut things down on the wholesaling side. So that's why the deal was so good.
Yeah. Totally. So and you like North Carolina? I'm a North Carolina lover as well. I'm more
Yeah.
like
So I just
that
kind of
way
opened that up a little bit. I'm familiar with my area and all that, and my company has an office down in Cary, North Carolina. So I figured like we'll look in that area. I go there every once in a while, a couple times a year maybe. So I was like, hey,
for your engineering company, you mean?
Yep, exactly.
Oh, okay. Do you ever go to Emerald Isle? That's my favorite.
No, but I've heard of it. I've definitely never been there though.
Okay, so you know where Jacksonville is, right?
Yep.
Okay, so then you just go to the coast.
Mm.
And Emerald Isle is like one of those 7 mile isles. So like in Maryland, it's kind of like the Ocean City of Maryland. It's kind of like that.
Okay.
And Swansboro is on the coast there. It's like nice.
Hmm.
You should I don't know how far it is from Raleigh because every time I've been, I've always gone there. But I've been in Jacksonville too. Jacksonville's a good city to buy in. It's there's a lot of military in there.
Mm.
So there's always going to be a need for housing. You got that what is that one military base real close to there? The one that had the big lawsuit for the mesothelioma or something like that.
I know the commercials.
I don't know. I can't keep track of all the lawsuits.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, but Jacksonville there's a lot of military in there. So it's like a lot of military in and out. I don't think you'd have a problem. I mean, it's more affordable housing in there, but it's an area that's always going to have a turnaround. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, midterm rentals might even be good for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
So what's been your biggest struggle since you got into the real estate investing world?
I mean, mindset for sure is definitely the biggest one. Everything kind of comes down to that. So kind of getting out of your own way, kind of like we talked about earlier, is like trusting the process. Even though I had the experience doing that on the fitness side, translating it over, I'm not a huge risk taker. So kind of just trusting that I'm doing the right thing and that I can figure things out as they go wrong. That was the biggest struggle, is like getting out of my own way, just trusting myself, being confident, sticking with it even when it's not working, or if I try something and it fails, not letting that reflect on like who I am as a person, but just as like part of the process.
Yeah. So about that, I have two things to say. One that kind of fits the theme of our episode here, how fitness and success go hand in hand and how it helps you achieve your goals. And then the other part is like, how did you overcome it? Because I've been like, I think a lot of people have issues with mindset.
Mhm.
I think that most of these people that have issues with mindset that start to do something like this, they realize and they know that they have issues with mindset. And I'm one of those outgoing people. I'm like high visionary, like go figure, right? Like you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
But so when I go in the Zooms, everybody gets to know me because I'm in the Zooms and I'm always talking and I'm on people's YouTube channels and all that stuff. And I have said recently, I'm like, okay, we all know the what. The what is easy to identify. You know what's even harder is the how.
Hmm.
How? Okay, we got the what. Now the how. That's the big challenge. How to fix it.
Yep.
Do you have any advice for that? Like, how did you overcome yours?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I fully overcome it. I think that's kind of always a work in progress, but it's the biggest help has been connecting with other people. You know, I worked with Creighton on like my mindset, with coaching with him and just getting more involved with the community and not doing everything on my own. Like that was part of the problem was I was just a solo person just working in a bubble. I am certainly not as outgoing, and definitely not as outgoing and bubbly as you are, but just working with other people, building more friendships in the community and just kind of leveraging the community's support and accountability, that definitely has helped made improvements for sure.
Yeah, just because I'm outgoing and bubbly doesn't mean I don't have mindset issues. I just
Sure.
want to clarify that right now. I got mindset issues, and that's a double-edged sword there because I annoy a lot of people with my outgoingness and just so I
Yeah,
mean, there's pros and cons to everything.
for sure.
However, yeah, Crichton is great for that mindset stuff. Love Crichton, love Marlin. Marlin is great for that. Keston Glasgow, like they all know me personally. I love them. And Daniel Q. Oh my gosh, he's one of my favorites. There's just such phenomenal people in this community. I mean, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
There's a reason they're the leaders or some of the leaders, right?
Right. And they're the OGs. And you're an OG. I mean,
Kind
look,
of. Yeah. Well, I think when I joined, there was like 3,000 or 5,000 people. Now, I don't know, what, 14, 15,000?
yeah, we're coming up on 15,000 for sure. But you've also gotten married since then. Plus, you have a day job, so there's that. I mean, these
And then,
other OGs, they're doing this stuff full time,
hmm
but you're doing a whole bunch of other stuff too. So,
yeah.
congratulations on getting married a couple years
Thank Yeah. A
ago.
couple of years ago, I have a 1-year-old too now. So that's been fun.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, they're so fun. I miss that. I'm an empty nester. I miss when they were little.
Yeah.
Like,
Trying to enjoy it. It's gone by so fast already. So it's like every day is just try to take it in and just enjoy it.
yeah. God, I miss it. I should have grandkids, but I don't. But okay, so what are some of your interests and passions outside of Subto? I mean, we know that you do the coaching and the CrossFit stuff, and I'm sure that's a passion of yours, or you wouldn't be doing it here and there. But what else, or is there anything else?
Yeah, I mean that takes up a lot of my time between the real estate and the job and the fitness stuff. Regarding the fitness too, like I've gotten recently into like triathlons, so I've done 3 this year. Just trying to do something different, right? I'm doing the base training of CrossFit, but hey, let's try something new. A bunch of people that go to my gym do them, and they're like, hey, come on, like let's do it. I swam in high school, and so the swimming portion wasn't a big barrier for me. So I was like, let's try something new and do it. So that's kind of been something I've been getting into. Nothing too crazy, but just something different.
Maybe you can catch Marlin on his rounds if he's still doing that, going around. Isn't he like doing running marathons and stuff like that right now?
I know he was a part of running across the country. So I'm sure he's doing marathons at this point because that's probably not too bad compared to what they've done. I think it was over the summer.
Yeah, he was hopping on daily dials from the RV that he was traveling in.
Yep.
It's like he's awesome. And
Yeah.
I think even Caroline went with him recently.
Yeah, they're driving. I think because they were in my area like a month ago, and they think they were picking up an RV in Philadelphia, and they were driving it back to Phoenix maybe or something like that. So doing something, yeah.
Nice. Love it. Okay. So, you have a podcast as
hmm
well, right? Tell us about your podcast.
Yeah, so I started a podcast. It was more of basic like nutrition and fitness info. Like that was what it was focused on, and it was me kind of solo going and just doing episodes. I was doing it live on Sunday mornings, and got kind of tired of just it being me and my perspective, and wasn't really enjoying it that much. So made the shift to kind of do it interview style. I listen to a lot of those, and they're definitely more entertaining. So shifted it to stay with the fitness stuff, but also the real estate and business side, and kind of comparing the two and how they relate. So I'm interviewing people who have success in both, or have really good success in one that somebody could kind of translate over into the fitness side. So meeting new people, I was having conversations with people anyway, and not interviewing, but just networking with new people. And so I was like, why not record it? Why not see if we can pull some information on what's made them successful, what got them started, and something that would help me just kind of take away from their experience, but people who are listening. So I've been, I don't know, there's 13 or 14 episodes out now. So it's been a few months of doing that. And it's been a ton of fun, and editing and kind of learning that side of things. So it's been a journey, but it's just something different, something definitely a little out of my comfort zone of like interviewing people and kind of being the host of something. So it's been a learning process for sure, but it's been fun.
And you're disciplined and you're pushing yourself
Yeah.
and you're learning and you're making connections.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably, I mean, I love doing the artistic side of everything that I do. Like I'm way over the top. I'm like extra with it, but it's kind of like therapy for me. But it's like the thing that I kind of noticed that was a super pleasant surprise is that you're building these strong bonds and relationships, even though it's virtually.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of podcasters will tell you. And that's why they always love to, at some point, if they get big enough, to do the in person, because sitting in front of the person, you grow an even stronger bond with that. But yeah, I mean, this is like next level marketing is what a podcast is.
Yep,
Totally.
exactly. It's not like, hey, I need to make a ton of money off this. It's like, hey, I'm going to be networking with these people anyway, and now I can post clips from it so people see that and kind of get to know who I am, and then my guests get exposure too. So that's always fun, just being able to see like how many people can we help with a 30 45-minute conversation.
Yeah, totally. And that's why I like to, like, I'll take my podcast episodes and cut them up into shorts,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll send them to my guests as well. Because I'm already doing it for myself. Why not send them to my guests so they can get free marketing too, as a thank you for coming on the show?
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah,
Yep, I put them up and say, hey, here's the Google Drive with it. Use what you want. I'm going to post a couple of them, and then announce the episode, and I'll tag them as collaborators, so they don't have to do anything if they don't want to, but they also have all of the recordings that they can chop up and use in whatever way they want.
yeah. Instagram is, I'm telling you. I'm a Gen Xer. Okay. So like the Instagram thing was like, I noticed as we got on MySpace, all the kids ran away from their parents and went to Facebook. And then all the parents started getting on Facebook, and all the kids ran away and they went to Instagram. And I was like, I'm not following them to Instagram. That's it. They ran away from us twice. And I felt like a creeper every time I went on there. So I kind of had this like blockage when it comes to Instagram, but I know I got to get on there more. And I know there's like a lot of connections and stuff being made, and it's not what it used to be, but I just learned that whole collaboration thing. I
Yep.
had like a personal brand building person that does that has a whole business around building a personal brand. And he was teaching me all about, doing the collaboration. And I'm like, what? Click on what? And he's like, here, I'll talk you through it. And I'm like, you're going to have to, because I don't know what
Yeah, there's so many little nuances with it. I probably scraped the surface. I know enough just to kind of get things out there, but there's a ton of stuff that I'm sure I am just completely missing and don't really care to dig into.
Right. So that being said, if you want to check Zach's Instagram out, There we go. Boom sauce, Instagram, YouTube, podcast, and Facebook.
Try to keep it easy by keeping the name all the same. Mainly for me, not necessarily for anybody else, because there's too many usernames, there's too many passwords, all this different stuff. How can I make it as easy as possible for myself? Because I'm ultimately lazy. How can I do the easiest possible process?
Not lazy. You got to make it simple for the people that want to find you that are lazy. No offense. Nothing. There's good and bad to everything, but it makes it super easy to find you. So, making it your first. That's why I have the same profile pic for YouTube, for Facebook, for Instagram, for LinkedIn, for X. It's always the same profile pic, not just because it's one of my favorite pics of myself, but more so because if people are looking for me on a different platform or something, they know it's the same person because it's the same picture all across all the platforms. So it's kind of like, using the same name. And yep, I did the same thing with the Subto Shauna. The This Is the Way is more so YouTube. But yeah, first and last name. And then Wealthy Wellbeing is the name of your podcast.
Yep, that's on Spotify. Yep, and then there's a video version on YouTube as well.
Can I drop a little golden nugget for you here?
I love it.
Spotify is phenomenal. I just recently branched off to audio platforms, but Buzzsprout, check it out. They give you a free podcast website. I just used my YouTube art for that, and it has all the episodes. You can just push play. They'll send it out to like 15 different audio, 15 or 20 different ones, all in one shot. You upload it to Buzzsprout and it gets sent out to all of them. You can schedule it, all kinds of stuff. Do a description box just like you do for YouTube and stuff. And, I'm telling you just because you like the audio channels and I just learned all this stuff. But also, if you wanted to use my affiliate link and get a $10 credit, I think it is, or a $20 credit, the link is in the description. You can click on that and get $20 off.
I'll check that out for sure.
Okay. All right, Zach. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been great. It's always fun being on the other side of the interview every once in a while. So I always have fun doing that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start working out and eating healthy so I can go on your podcast.
It doesn't have to be just that. I'd love to hear your insights, your journey, and, kind of what you've built here is super nice and fancy, definitely more than what I have. So, love learning about different perspectives.
Do you have like a Calendly link to like book time or something like that?
I do. Yeah. I can send that to you after.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hang back after the show. And I want to thank you for coming on. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks.